This is the Wally Show podcast with Wally, Gavin, and me, Betty Rock. You can always find us at wayfm.com/Wally or stream us live every weekday morning through the WayFM app.
The Wally Show podcast is brought to you by Colorado Christian University Online, where Wally teaches and where you can earn a degree online just like Betty Rock. You can learn more at ccu.edu/Wally. This podcast is also brought to you by United Faith Mortgage. Let their direct lender advantage save you time and money.
Uplifting Way FM.
News can be a little heavy, so we like to do news-ish. Here's Betty.
These days, with the advancing in crime scene technology, it seems just almost impossible to get away with anything. I know back in the day, all they had were fingerprints,
Right.
but now it's like they have DNA.
Can I ask you a question? Do you ever think about it?
What do you mean?
watch a lot of crime scenes. You watch a lot of crime shows.
Uh-huh.
Do you ever sit there and learning from what you've watched think, okay, I could get away with this?
I've never thought that, but I have watched them and thought, well, there's where you went wrong. You should have done this.
Because I think about it. Not the murder, but I think about if I was to run from the law, how would I get away and disappear into nothingness, you know? So I do think about it, and then I think, oh, there's a digital trace and they could find me.
True. I just don't think, I think you would give yourself away because you claim that you could live off the grid, but I honestly don't think you could.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't
think you could.
You can't have any digital
You
fingerprint.
need someone there to laugh at your jokes.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I'm going to need an accomplice. I'm going to need a Bonnie and Clyde.
Exactly. Well, take, for instance, a burglar who was identified for his crime through the help of a mosquito. Yes, the bug.
Man, even bugs are ratting you out.
Yeah. So when crime scene investigators entered the scene of a reported burglarized apartment, they noticed how neat and tidy everything was, except for a dead mosquito that had been squashed on the wall, leaving a smear of blood on the wall. So why would anybody leave that there?
Well, I mean, if they see blood on the wall too, I wouldn't even thought to check that, but I guess if you're processing a crime scene, you go, oh, this could be something.
Yeah. Well, investigators were able to swab a bit of that blood on the wall, and after testing the DNA, they found their perpetrator.
No way.
Yes, because the mosquito had bitten the burglar while he was burglarizing. He killed it and smashed it up against the wall and smeared it.
And they had his DNA. What in the world? That's a new one. That's one that you would watch that on a television show and be like, that's not real.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Right?
And so, it seems interesting, though, for an apartment burglary, that they actually sent that to a crime lab and did, a blood analysis on it with no really bad crime. That seems crazy to me.
I get what you're saying. Yeah. But still, how amazing is that? It's making the news that now you have, burglars now have to watch out for bugs. Don't kill them because they'll give you away.
First thing, don't burglarize. I mean,
if
we're really trying to teach a lesson here,
you're
Rob,
right.
to some of the impressionable kids.
That's what I meant.
Don't burglarize. But if you do, no.
Don't kill the bugs.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. That is definitely one that would be a television show for sure. Uplifting Way FM. This is the Wally Show, and we do this thing from time to time called Am I Weird Because you'll be walking around, you'll do something, and someone will give you a weird look, and you're like, what, is that weird? Is that odd? Okay, I did not realize that. I've just always done this. And so my Am I Weird Because is actually not about me, it's about Betty. I'm doing Is Betty Weird Because today.
Are we supposed to elect ourselves into this? Not
theoretically.
Told that you're weird.
Yeah, theoretically it's supposed to be personal, but this one I can't let go. So Betty Rock tells me that her water was out the other day after you had gone on this massive hike.
And it was so hot outside. The back of my shirt was drenched.
Yes.
It was terrible how hot it was. But like Wally was saying, I get home and my water has been turned off because they are having some plumbing issues or whatever, but they're on it. And I have to go to bed, but I want to take a shower. Obviously, I can't. So what I do instead is I put a blanket over my bed, and then I use another blanket to cover up with. I didn't want to get in my bed because I didn't want to dirty the sheets. And then I've got to remake it
But
and all
you've
that.
dried off by this time. It's not like you're getting in soaking wet,
No,
and you're not wearing your workout clothes.
Yeah, but you still stink.
Yeah, of course you do.
And then you're going to get your sheets stinky, and then it's just not clean and inviting anymore.
But you have to, wash your sheets eventually anyway.
Yeah, I do, but I had just put them on not that long ago, and I didn't want to do it again.
Let me tell you this. I could have gotten in that bed and slept like that, and then still gone another week, 2 weeks before I washed the sheets.
Absolutely. That is, am I weird because?
No.
Because that is weird.
No, that's am I a guy because?
Two out of the 3 people in this room.
Zero problem with it. Like if
that.
you had told me, oh my goodness, I was sweaty, then I dried off, but then I went to bed and I wouldn't have thought anything of it. Like, would not have thought, given it a second thought.
I couldn't have slept in that bed because I would have just thought there's dried up sweat all over these sheets.
Okay, well, Gavin and
Disgusting.
I have proclaimed you weird on this one. So that's how it works. We'll sit in judgment and we'll let you know if that thing that you do makes you weird or not. Okay, so this isn't about Betty's oddness. This is about your own. Okay, so I just did that for fun. But this is your thing. What is that thing that you have been told maybe, or you think might make you a little bit weird? You might find a kindred spirit here on the show. 855-33-WAY-FM is the number. That's 855-33-WAY-FM. We'd love to get your story right now and kind of discuss this with you, help you hash it out, if you will. So what do you got?
So one of the things that I do is that if I ever get my shoes wet or anything like that, I actually will wait to wash them until they're completely filthy. I'll even let them just dry. I've been told that that's kind of weird. Most people usually just wash them right after they get wet or anything like that. But I'll usually wait for them to get wet a couple times or even, like I said, just completely filthy before I wash my shoes.
Yeah, I don't understand that. Like, I bought a pair of new white shoes. They're like super white. They're blinding white. And my goal is to keep them white as long as possible. And so I was walking through the store the other day. We were at Joann's with my wife, and they have these tiny carts that aren't wider than your feet. So my foot kept kicking the wheel. Yes, right on my brand new white shoe.
No.
And I'm not about to let it wait like Alex. I'm like in the middle of the store. I'm licking my finger.
Oh,
and
gross.
I know. And like wiping down the shoe and rubbing it on the back of my sock, trying to keep it clean instantly.
Now that I would say makes you weird.
Oh, I'm weird, not Alex? Come
Right.
on now.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
What do you got?
When I have a hamburger and french fries, I have ketchup for my french fries by itself, but I cannot put ketchup on my hamburger, but I will dip my hamburger in the ketchup, but I cannot put it on the hamburger for some reason.
Okay, well, that's fascinating. Let's explore this for a second, Josh. So why do you think you don't pour the ketchup on your hamburger? Is it more logistics, like it makes the bun slide too much or it drips out?
Just the thought of the ketchup. I've never really liked ketchup on anything but french fries, but I, for some reason, can dip it.
That is fascinating. So your hamburger, in essence, has become a French fry in your mind. You're transferring this, not to get too psychological, but you're transferring a hurt, maybe from your childhood.
Have you tried doing it the opposite way, like breaking this habit?
Yeah, we actually had hamburgers last night. I had my family over, and I thought about them, but I just couldn't put it on. I had to put it on the side.
Just couldn't do it. I understand this. Like, I will dip my hamburger as well, but it's not because I have some deep-seated hurt. Not that you do, Josh.
We're assuming a lot.
Yeah, but like when you put a lot of ketchup on it, you don't always get it in every bite, and it leaks out all over your hands. And so I like to dip it. That way I get the proper amount of ketchup in every bite. Mine's scientific, not weird.
That may be my ketchup.
Or a little high maintenance, but whatever.
Monday School is a chance for Wally to share what he learned at church and prove that he went.
If you've spent a lot of time in church, you know a lot of the stories that are going to come up, and you think, okay, I know this story. But I love when I'm surprised by parts of a story I never knew before and kind of how they interact. And that was the case this past week. And we were in Mark chapter 14, and Jesus is at a dinner party that Simon, the leper that Jesus had healed, was hosting. I never knew that. Oh. This is that famous party where Mary, she's the sister of Martha and Lazarus, where she falls at the feet of Jesus and she anoints his feet with the most expensive oil of the day. And she didn't sprinkle it on, like she poured it out on him lavishly. And Mary was completely devoted, and it cost her something of value. I mean, this perfume was, they said, worth a year's salary, and it was used for kings and priests or the dead, which is actually significant as well. Because if you think about it, Jesus was all of those things, which I find fascinating. The irony was the disciples rebuked her for wasting such a precious commodity, and they even tried to Jesus juke her. They're like, you're wasting this, and we could use it for the poor, and you're just pouring it out on the floor. And I love this, though, because Jesus flips the script on them and is like, hey, the poor are always going to be with you. You can do something for them anytime you like. Yeah. Mary knows that I'm not going to always be here. And so she is showing her love now. And he's like, that's what you guys should be doing. They missed that note, But it was funny because following Jesus will cost you something. It could be time, it could be money, it could be position. Anything worthwhile has a cost associated to it, and our faith really isn't any different. And there was another fun fact that I learned here. I never had put this together before, but it was after this party that Judas went to the priest to betray Jesus for money. Oh. I know. So I didn't know that. So you've got Mary giving everything to Jesus, and Judas condemning her for doing that, yet he goes out right after this and then betrays Jesus. I mean, that's super hypocritical.
Right. And that's something that we don't realize the timeline on.
The timeline of the stuff in the Bible, when you connect stuff, it's fascinating. And it makes each of the parts of the story jump out. I mean, think about it. Have we seen people profit off of Jesus today while others are giving everything, to serve in his name? And the question is really simple. Who do we not just want to be? That's an aspiration, but rather who will we choose to be? That takes intention. And I think that was kind of my takeaway from the Monday School this week.
Coffee shops, poolside, back porch, picnic table at the park, at your kids' soccer practice. Just about anywhere can be your classroom when you decide to go back to school online at Colorado Christian University.
I know I got my degree online, and I actually did a homework at a campsite. I was sitting around a campfire writing a paper. That is where I did some of my work that weekend. So life doesn't have to stop just because you go back to school to better yourself. You can work towards this future and this goal that you want to accomplish, and it doesn't have to totally consume you or derail your normal life with friends, your family, or what have you.
And you can earn accredited degrees from Colorado Christian without ever setting foot on campus.
So there really shouldn't be an excuse to not going back to school. If it's something you really want to do, you can do it. And all you have to do is go to ccu.edu/Wally to learn more. And the other really important thing is that Colorado Christian is committed to cultivating the mind without compromising the heart. So check it out, ccu.edu/Wally.
Uplifting Way FM.
News can be a little heavy, so we like to do news-ish. Here's Wally-ish.
So there was a folk music festival. If you're not familiar with folk music, it's kind of like if out-of-tune instruments and pretentiousness had a baby. That is what a folk music festival would be.
Okay.
So they do this, I guess, every year in Newport, and they've kind of been known for electrifying musical moments. But this year went even a little further. This past weekend, they had a small stage powered in part by festival goers on stationary bikes.
No.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. It's a fun idea, but as you unpack it, it sounds like every hipster thing I am not a fan of, starting with the band name that created it. The bike stage is the brainchild of the band Illiterate Light.
Illiterate Light.
What does that even mean?
I don't know, but I love it.
No, I hate it. They're an environmentally conscious indie rock duo from Virginia. Okay. And so they've partnered with this company to do pedal-powered sound systems, and they've been using it like at small clubs. So the show is, in essence, powered in part by fans. The way it works is you got like 5 bikes next to the stage, and fans will just come up and pedal along, and
that powers the sound system.
Part of it, yeah. They also have solar because they want to be green, but they're providing extra amplitude there.
I
Yeah.
that.
Do
I
you?
like it.
Would you ever go to a show like that and ride a bike?
No,
Yeah.
never. I'm there to enjoy it, but
Exactly.
I think it's a great idea.
The band said it's a way for fans to do something a little different with us, and it also helps us start the conversation about energy and its use. So basically, the 5 bikes feed an electrical box, which is so the energy from the bikes is turned into electricity, and I guess the temperatures were in the 80s, and so people were pedaling for about 5 minutes. They were good for about one song, and then had to get off. Take it. I'm not gonna make it to the big hit.
Well, it's gonna have to be fast-paced music, because if it's a ballad, people are not gonna feel energized to keep going.
That's true. Or every fast-paced thing sounds like a ballad as they start running down. Hey, we need to pick it up a little bit. Like that. That'd be great. Can you imagine being on that bike though and just being exhausted, and then you hear someone in the crowd yell encore? You're like, no.
If you want an encore, you got to work for it.
That's it. You get on this bike, sir. Uplifting Way FM. This is the Wally Show. And recently there was a lady who got her dream job. She had always dreamed of coaching, and she got her dream job coaching for a men's college basketball team, which there aren't a lot of female coaches in sports like that.
And I would assume that it would be difficult for her to get men to listen to her and respect her. I know exactly how she feels.
So she gets this job, but she was several months pregnant with her first child, and she was a single mom. And so she's all worried about what that's going to do to her job, and so she has the baby, and she's freaking out because she's like, I can't do all of this, and keep this job and do childcare and all these problems and stuff. But her life got easier when her new boss, the head coach of the men's basketball team there at this college, said, hey, bring your baby to work with you. And he's like, it's too important. You're a great member in addition to this team. And, my girls grew up in the gym, here. And, if they can, you can. And so the child has become like the unofficial mascot.
Oh, nice.
Everybody loves him. And she's there coaching, and the kid's just around, and she's with him and stuff. So, it's a great situation that a lot of other companies can maybe learn from too. And so there was kind of a cool thing for this mom. But here's what I wanted to talk about with you is that being a single mom, it has to be one of the hardest things. I have the utmost respect for all the things that they balance, because you're basically being mom, dad, friend, coach, parent, bus driver, everything. Chef. Yeah, exactly. And that's a lot to it. So there's been this trend online for a long time, tell me you're a blank without telling me you're a blank. And it's kind of fun to do this. So tell me you're a single working mom without telling me you're a single working mom, okay? That's how we'll do this thing here. 855-33-WAY-FM. So you're a little cryptic about it, but it's the characteristics of what it takes to being a single working mom that you do. So if you've seen this trend online, you should know how to do this. Tell me you're a single working mom without telling me you're a single working mom. 855-33-WAY-FM is the number. We'll take yours now. How would you tell me you're a single working mom without telling me you're a single working mom?
Well, I have to have dinner ready by 6 with an exam book next to my stove while wearing my scrubs.
There you go. Absolutely. Oof. So you're taking care of the family, making dinner. So what are you studying for?
So I'm trying to get my nurse practitioner, and I have a 3-year-old daughter, and I'm also single. I've been raising her on my own since she was 1.
That's got to be a hard job. I went back to college at 30. I didn't have kids, but it was hard just being on my own and taking care of my own self, going to college and working a full-time job.
It's difficult, but I'm holding a 4.0, and I'm doing it with God. So
nice. Good for you. I really thought Betty was going a different direction with that. I thought she was going to go with, you know what? I feel like I'm a single working mom raising Wally.
There are days. There are days.
Well, good luck with that.
Thank you.
Steph, thanks for being on with us. That's great. And good luck with your degree, man. You know what? The work you're putting in now is going to pay off big time for your daughter in the future. So keep at it.
It is. Thank you, guys. You have a blessed day.
How would you do that?
It's 10 o'clock p.m. Both boys have been to practice, have had dinner. Kitchen is clean. Homework is done. and I'm still in my work clothes.
That's it. Because your job's never done. The good news is, if you just put a different pair of shoes on, maybe a different necklace, you could accessorize that differently and just go straight to work tomorrow.
There are times that I would fall asleep on my bed and wake up the next morning at 5 a.m. still in clothes. I didn't even get under the blanket.
Oh, wow.
That's hard, man. How old are your kids?
Well, now they're 35 and 28, so...
Well, good. Then that's all in the rear view for you. But you know what? Maybe you give somebody else that's like down in it, that's got like an 8 and a 9-year-old, and they're still like trying to figure it all out. What would you say to that single working mom, Desiree?
The crock pot is your best friend.
Yes. How would you do that?
I can only fall apart between 10 p.m. and 6 a.m.
Oh, man, that's so good, but so true, because you got to be strong for your family. It's kind of like if you're on a plane and the pilot panics, then you panic, but they're always so calm. And yes, you might notice there's a wing on fire, but nothing to worry about.
So true.
So, Stacey, what's some advice that you would give to other single working moms?
And allow yourself, when you don't have to focus on them, to go through that process.
And cry in the shower.
Absolutely.
Is that something you do, Wally?
I do today. That's how I manage. All right, Nadine, how do you finish this sentence? Tell me you're a single working mom without telling me you're a single working mom.
I have to rush home right after work.
So you can't, like, talk to your friends afterwards or eat a snack or something. You have to get home ASAP.
Yeah, I have to drive like a crazy person to get home.
Hey, Nadine, it's 2-for-1 apps at Bennigan's. You want to go? And you're like, nope, sorry, got to go home.
Exactly. No fun at all.
Yeah, there is an element of that. How old are your kids?
I have a 9-year-old. He's special need. He has mental health problems. And a 15-year-old and a 23-year-old.
Oh, wow. Does the 23-year-old still live at home?
Yes, he moved back home.
Oh, good. Well, there you go. You got a built-in babysitter. You go get those apps at Bennigan's like once a week, okay?
He wants no part of it.
He needs to know that if he doesn't allow you to chit-chat with your friends, then he's going to have to be your girlfriend so you can talk to him.
He'll probably run for his life in that aspect.
With all the talk in the news about interest rates and shrinkflation, life just doesn't stop. Sometimes you want or still need to move, and if that's you, now more than ever you need to call United Faith Mortgage. They're faith-based and family-owned, which means that directly affects the way that they do business. So many times when I deal with businesses, I feel like I've almost got to have my guard up the whole time, but that was never the case with United Faith Mortgage. I instantly felt comfortable with them from the first time we talked until we closed out our cash-out refinance. There was never any pressure. United Faith Mortgage also has a direct lender advantage, which means many times they can save you money on your loan. Or if you have some unique or challenging circumstances, United Faith Mortgage can help you better navigate that. So if you're needing or wanting to find a new home, please do yourself a favor and talk to the people I trust implicitly. United Faith Mortgage. Start online, call anytime. UnitedFaithMortgage.com.
United Faith Mortgage is a DBA of United Mortgage Corp. 25 Melville Park Road, Melville, New York. Licensed mortgage banker. For all licensing information, go to NMLSConsumerAccess.org. Corporate NMLS number 1330. Equal housing lender. Licensed in Alaska, Hawaii, Georgia, Massachusetts, North Dakota, South Dakota, or Utah.
Uplifting Way FM.
If you're a little sluggish in the morning, then news-ish is your speed.
You burned your foot on a Foreman grill.
I like waking up to the smell of bacon. Sue me.
It's The Wally Show.
What you got, Gavin?
We all have our habits that at least one person in our life says is a quote-unquote bad habit. Mine, for example, like I like to fidget with my ring, and I have lost it and other replacements 100 or so times.
geez.
And Haley calls me out on that. I know that you fidget your leg.
Oh, my
kick
leg's
that up and down.
going right now as we speak. I always have had. My mom used to always just call it nervous energy, and I just always move. I'm very kinetic.
Yeah, we all have like our one thing. My friend's like a nail biter. And I actually found this article that actually puts a positive twist on what people call quote-unquote bad habits and finds the benefit in that habit.
I like that. A silver lining for your bad behavior. Let's go. Let's
exactly.
do this.
Okay, so chewing with your mouth open.
Oh, that is so good. Like, I know someone. I know someone that does this.
Do you? Huh, who could it be?
I'm pretty close to them.
You are them.
I have been accused of this. I
you
don't
are
know.
a mouth breather.
You have gotten me thinking that I actually do this. You have totally gaslighted me into thinking that I do this. I don't think I do, but now I believe that I do.
Gavin, does he?
I mean, he does, but
See?
I am unbothered by
Thank
this
you, Gavin.
as a fellow guy.
No, that's because he's afraid of you. I'm not afraid of you. I'll tell you like it is.
What is the positive spin?
The benefit is that it makes your food taste better by making the aromas
I don't care.
easier to smell.
That's what I've always done. Yes,
I don't want to
that's
smell
why
your
I do
chewed
it.
up food.
I get it.
I'm a sommelier of eating.
No.
Yes.
Okay, the next one was slouching, and I find that I do this all the time.
I do too. How could this possibly be good?
They say it can actually be good for your joints because it limits back stiffness after a period of like hard physical work. So it says that you're relaxed.
Oh, okay, yeah. Your bones aren't fighting to be straight up. That's good. I like that.
Exactly. Biting your nails. This one, I'm gonna need some more scientific research on. It says it boosts your immune system by introducing it to bacteria.
Yes.
I can see that.
Yeah, because you have bacteria on your hands and your stuff. Like Betty Rock will bite her side of her nail.
Yeah, it's
And
terrible.
shit like that.
I bite the cuticle. It's
I get
terrible. I've tried to stop, but then I catch myself doing it without even realizing I'm doing it.
I think
so.
it's more of a. Is it a nervous thing or anxious thing for you?
No, I don't think so. I think I just
It's a hungry thing. She's so hangry. She's like, I'm so hangry, I'm gonna eat my own cuticles.
Ew.
Uplifting Way FM. This is the Wally Show, and we're doing your weekend in one word. So one word weekend here. I'll go first. Died.
Whoa.
One word weekend. Described your weekend. Died. Betty, you look horrified. Your
Well,
eyes.
I mean, it's obvious that you are not
Dead.
exiting the earth. Yes.
So it's not me.
I would say that you probably did some. What do you call it when you not varnish, but when you put something on wood? It's like a coating.
Polyurethane when you're staining.
Not paint, staining.
Staining.
And staining can also dye your hands.
Oh, DYED.
Yeah.
Oh.
You dyed your hands accidentally because you weren't wearing gloves.
I remember back in the day before Betty Rock actually died, there was a headline that said Betty White dies. And I didn't read it properly, and like it was DYES, like dyes her hair. And I'm like, oh, that got me. No, that is incorrect. Gavin died.
I think that the battery in your truck died as you were dying to get some food, which made you
dead inside.
Dead inside.
Okay,
there
yes.
you go. I was looking for the third D.
No, nicely done there. No, died. My dream died over the weekend.
What was your dream?
That's what happened.
You're so dramatic.
I know. My dream's dead. It's just dead. I've always dreamed of like having a lake place that my family could go to for years, and we could pass it on to Haley, and she could enjoy it with her family and all of those things. And so we went and looked at like lake property and lake stuff, and it turns out it's way too expensive. And my wife was like, she pointed out all the problems with it. You've got to keep it up, and you got to do this, and you got to do this, and you got to do this. And I just looked at her and I'm like, you just killed a dream. That's what you did. That's all you just did right here.
An unrealistic dream.
Yeah.
You killed it.
You just killed it. You murdered my dream is what just happened. And so, yeah, my dream died. And so I was like, okay, I'm just not getting... But I had to go down the rabbit hole. I had to go and look and see and stuff to know.
Do you feel like this happens to you a lot?
Yes.
Because you do a lot of research on things that are now your dream. Oh, that's dead. Now I got a new dream.
Yes,
I have a dream. I have a dream.
It's what I do. Like, it's how I spend my time. And I never spend any money on anything. I just research everything.
Right. You did this with foiling?
E-foiling, yeah.
E-foiling?
Okay,
yeah.
That dream is not completely dead. That one, my buddy Greg killed because he decided to not get an e-foil, and I didn't want to just get one by myself. So, yeah, that was his fault. This other one was my wife's fault.
I don't know. Wow. You're always the victim in this situation.
I got a lot of dream killers in my life. You know what? Here's some advice for you. This is free today. Has nothing to do with the bit. Don't have those people in your life. 855-33-WAY-FM. Have people that support your dreams and want to make you happy. 855-33-WAY-FM. What is your one-word weekend that describes your weekend? And we'll try to guess what happened. 855-33-WAY-FM. And feel free to be as dramatic as you want to. What do you got?
Preaching.
I'm going to say that the pastor called in sick, and they were like, I don't know, we're going to have to cancel church today. Pastor's sick. Is anybody that wants to take a crack at this? And Jonathan, you stood up and said, yes, sir, I will preach. I've got this.
No, close, but I just do my job as a disciple of Jesus and going house to house preaching the gospel.
So you say you go house to house, like you just knock on doors randomly and be like, hey, what's up? You need Jesus?
No, I wish I was more bold like that, and I think I should be. But no, just family members and a couple friends that their family members are kind of scared to share the gospel with them, so they know that I'm not afraid to do it. So they kind of call me over and then invite them over, kind of like a little setup almost.
It's like an intervention. We've all written you a letter. We love you, but you could use a little Jesus in your life.
Exactly like that. Yeah, pretty much.
Well, Jonathan, thanks for being on the show with us today. I appreciate it.
Hey, God bless you guys.
What do you got?
Eggs.
Eggs. E-G-G-S. Eggs.
Correct.
How old are you, Nancy?
How old do I need to be?
Whatever you want to be, it's fine. By that answer, I'm going to say mine isn't right. I'm going to say she found out she's pregnant. Like those eggs.
That can't happen.
I think that you stumbled across, maybe while you were mowing the yard, you stumbled across a nest full of eggs.
Raccoon eggs? Or
raccoon
what kind of
eggs.
Yeah.
Well, hear me out.
Raccoons are hatched.
No, they don't. So she thought that they were birds. Turns out they're actually snakes.
Oh, no.
And you hatched a bunch of baby snakes.
Oh, I'd be screaming then.
So that's not it. So what is your eggs?
Well, I had set out on the counter a stick of butter and 2 eggs because they had to be room temperature to make some muffins. And we left for like an hour and a half just to get dinner. And when we came back, the eggs and the butter was missing.
Oh, no. Do you have a dog?
We have a dog.
Oh,
no.
Oh, boy.
She has eaten 3 sticks of butter already.
Oh, man. There's something about butter. Like, if you had to eat butter, like, as a prank, I can't even imagine doing that. But dogs, like, yeah, it's no big deal. We got this. And then raw eggs. Oh.
Yeah, because we can't find them anywhere in the house.
She ate the shell and all, correct?
Yes.
That doesn't do anything to
butter.
the lining of her stomach?
She's pretty indestructible.
Maybe you should leave her out some dog food. Sounds like she's starving.
She already had breakfast.
Yeah. Don't want to spoil her eggs.
No, really.
Behold God stuff.
Uplifting Way FM. This is the Wally Show, and we like to focus on God showing up in places with God stuff that maybe you wouldn't necessarily expect. Like there was a waitress in a pizza place, and she gave her customer his bill for his $13 stromboli. It's pricey stromboli, but not too bad, especially if you get extra meats with it. But I digress. So they paid the $13 and added a tip, and the total came out to $3,013. But it was not a mistake. The guy left a $3,000 tip. All the employees were shocked, some probably slightly jealous, and they were like, this can't be true. So they ran the card. They waited for it to not come back, and it came back, and it was legit. The God stuff part about this is that this isn't the first time this guy has done this. His name's Eric, and he does this a lot, and he calls it tips for Jesus. And so it's kind of like his way of spreading goodness and kindness and sharing the gospel with people by taking care of physical needs for them and doing something super generous.
And that is true. I mean, he's got a good point there, because if you're trying to preach to someone and they're hungry or they have no place to stay, like those physical things need to be taken care of.
Well, he definitely got their attention, and he left an impression. The waitress said she's been waiting tables since high school and knows how hard it can be to get by. So she hopes to pay this kind of forward, this kindness forward, a little extra when she pays her bills the next time that she goes out to eat. It got her thinking, I need to do this too and take care of other people. And here's the thing, you don't always have to leave this big $3,000 tip. You could blow somebody's mind with a $100 tip. That would be shocking for most people. Yeah. Or if you don't have that, you could just be uber kind and intentional and make somebody's day that way as well. It's not to get off cheap, but there's something about being kind to people that can make their day better as well. I've actually seen people that will ask the server, how can I pray for you? And some people do it right then and there, and other people just, go and do it privately, but the person feels seen, which is kind of cool.
I think it just goes to show it doesn't take much to show kindness to people. The bar is set really, really low.
Sadly, you're absolutely right. But there you go. That's your God stuff for today. And maybe an idea for you as you go out to eat today. Hey, it's Wally, and I just want to thank so many people, our potties, the people that listen to the radio station, for partnering together to make a difference in the lives of Ukrainian refugees. This thing over there is a mess. We're entering the 5th month of this, and it's just heartbreaking to see what people are going through and how they're having to live. But here's the upside. Together, we have sent more than 100,000 meals to Ukraine already. These meals are being distributed by 3,500 pastors who are risking their lives every day to minister to these families and get them the food that they need. So if you've given, thank you so much. Now, we're down to the last couple weeks of the month, and how cool would it be to up the ante here and send another 50,000 meals by the end of July? I know it sounds like a lot, but at 25 cents a meal, that's not a lot, and a little bit from each of us can go a long way. I know I've already done my part because I'm never going to ask you to do something I won't do, but think about it. $100 sends 400 meals, and then if you roll that out and do $500 or $1,000 gift, imagine the impact that you're having. So if you want to get involved, you've seen all the hardship and the heartache and thought, man, I wish there was something I could do. This is something you can do. Just join us by texting Wally to 91999. That's Wally to 91999. And the cool part of this is, man, you get to be the answer to a mom's prayer as she's wondering how she's going to feed her children. Again, text the word Wally to 91999.
These are the least important stories out of Hollywood, but nonetheless entertaining. Here's Betty Rock with the least of these.
There's a trend on social media where you show a video of yourself at the beginning of your career and compare it to how it all is going currently. American Idol alumni and country music star Carrie Underwood, she recently posted her own version to commemorate her singing at the Grand Ole Opry, which is always a big deal in country.
Oh, for sure.
In the country world. It starts off with a video of a young Carrie, she's probably 10 or 11, singing a country hit from 1993, Blame It on Your Heart.
You need some sympathy, but don't be calling me.
All right, I hear it.
Well, it's followed by Carrie singing the very same song on the Opry stage some 20 years later.
Hey, blame it on your lying, cheating, cold dead beating, two-time and double dealing, mean mistreating, loving heart.
Wow. I'm not sure where she was more twangy. I think the twang got worse, actually.
She is from Oklahoma.
She developed a twang.
Yeah. What's so funny, too, is like she always dresses to the nine. I feel like every time I see her, out and about. But even at the Opry, you could come in jeans, overalls, whatever you want. But she comes in like a sparkly gown and her hair is just breathtaking. Ugh.
Yeah, see, she's pretty glitzy. Mm-hmm. But like at church, she happens to go to our church. I just dropped that weird flex, I know. But like she looks like when she's at church though, like normal mom, like chasing her kids through the
with amazing
church.
hair and breathtaking legs.
Oh yeah, okay, I didn't say that.
Well, I can say it.
She looks like a normal mom though, because that's where you don't have to put it all on is at church. Hopefully,
well, that's true.
That's
but she puts it on for the Opry, not for church.
I like when celebrities do that kind of stuff, like old school stuff, like they're not afraid to show like where they came from, and you got like buck teeth before you had that done or before you had anything done.
And she definitely had many things to be embarrassed by, but she still stood up for herself and she posted it anyway.
Crushed it. There you go. That's gonna do it for your least of these. Thank you, Lady Rock. Uplifting Way FM. This is the Wally Show. And the other day I was having a conversation with somebody and they were talking about their church, and they were like, oh yeah, and so I go to Connect 3, and like I'm like, wait, what? And like, like Connect 4, but Connect 3 like the whatchamacallit, the Trinity. Yeah, like the game Connect 4, but Connect 3 like the Trinity.
Is that for real?
That's their church name?
That's the church name,
Connect 3.
Yeah, and so maybe it was like
That's cool.
So I think sometimes we try to be like super cool with the names of our churches, and they get like super uber hipster.
It can get cheesy, but I know what they're trying to do. They're trying to get the younger generation through the doors, and I can't condemn them for that. I mean, it does need to be done, but if you're saying I go to the Connect 3, I don't know.
It made me start thinking of like what would some great hipster church names be. And I put a list down of some of my own. Pyro church would be good because you're supposed to be on fire for Christ.
Oh, nice.
And there's actually a thing called pyro marketing, and that's where you have fans of something and they do the marketing for you, basically.
Oh.
So, I mean, it kind of works. Granite factory, because church was built on the rock, and so
Granite factory. That's
Granite's
creative.
a great factory. Or it's a great rock. Or I think this might be my favorite. God vibes only.
Yes, I'm there.
Everybody's doing like good vibes, shirts and stuff like that. Like that'd be a hipster church name, right?
good.
I saw one that was called The Vibe. Just simply
The vibe. See, that's it.
Like, oh, where do you go? I go to The Vibe.
The vibe. Yeah. All
Because
right.
it's a vibe.
Let's do this. Let's have a little fun with it for a minute. What do you think would be an incredible hipster church name that maybe doesn't exist yet? And we'll even like Google some of these too and see if like you come up with one you're like, oh, this is so bad, but then you find out it's out there. 855-33-WAY-FM. We love having you on the show. That's the number. That's how you can always be on with us. What would be a great hipster name for a new church? 855-33-WAY-FM. What do you think would be a good name for a new hipster church, Yvonne?
Well, I had to call to tell you this one. This is one I actually saw the other day. I don't even know if they're still there, but it was called the Winners Church. So I'm thinking as I'm passing this church, where's the Losers Church?
I know, yeah. It's right down the street, but we don't talk about them.
Well, in this day and age, there are no losers. It's all, everybody gets a participation award.
There you go.
Yeah, I think everybody gets a trophy would be another great name for a church. Well, Yvonne, thank you for being on with us.
You're welcome. Have a blessed day, guys.
If you were to create a new church, but you wanted to appeal to like maybe a younger demographic, what would you do?
Oh, man, you'd have to come up with something like the TikTok church or something like that with this new generation now.
I'm not going to lie, as a 53-year-old man, I spent an hour and 48 minutes on TikTok the other night.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, my wife didn't want the TV on in the bedroom, so I just sat there on TikTok. And from 10 till 11:48, I just scrolled mindlessly. I would go to the TikTok church.
Maybe it could be called Trending Church.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah.
I like
There
that
you
too.
go.
Or maybe organic church, because everyone wants to eat organic food. And what's more organic than God?
And now for some good news.
Uplifting Way FM. This is the Wally Show. We do a little good news giddy up here to remind you that there's a lot of good in the world, even though the news might tell you otherwise. So a couple rapid fire good news stories designed to make you feel better. Betty Rock, good news giddy-o. Get it going.
Well, plane crashes are always terrible.
That sounds delightful.
They're always terrible. But this one has its positive moments. This guy crashed his banner plane. It's just like this little jet or whatever.
Well, they're the planes that tow the banners over the beach that are like, yeah.
Okay, so it's not like it's a C-47 or whatever, a D-52.
No, little plane like, hey guys, eat at Chili's,
Well, it crashed off the shore in California, but coincidentally, it was right in front of a lifeguard competition.
Oh, that's
So there were a
great.
bunch of these kids that are lifeguards trying to compete to see who could be the best. And I mean, he crashed right in front of him, so they all sprung into action. It was like the perfect test.
He still had a problem because they all ran in slow motion, like Baywatch, to get to him. But, no, that's good luck. That's the Lord looking out for you. And speaking of that, there's another guy, a retired airborne ranger. He went out kayaking in Florida. Fish clear his head a little bit. He gets into trouble when his kayak starts to sink, and he is a long way from shore. So he is stranded out there for hours treading water. Just treading water. If you've had to ever tread water for 5 minutes, it's like that is hard.
It takes it out of you.
So hours, okay? He's treading water. Finally, another boat comes by and picks him up. It's 4 a.m. in the morning. When this other boat spots him, throws him a life ring, and pulls him in. And the guy's just like, thank you. I've been out here forever.
And you know that had he not pulled up and saved him, he could have easily drowned.
Oh,
and
yeah.
His family would have been like, what happened?
What happened? Exactly. And so this guy was a hero that picked him up. But boy, treading water for that long, that's no joke. So there you go. Happy endings all the way around.
Yay.
Christ averted. That is what Good News Giddy Up is all about.
Well, that's the end, but it doesn't have to be. Check out our Aftercast. It's new stuff you didn't hear in the podcast. Be sure to rate us on iTunes as well as connect with us on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. Just search Wally Show. And be sure to join our exclusive Potty Facebook group. You can find the link in the description of this podcast. And thanks to Colorado Christian University Online and United Faith Mortgage for supporting what we do.